Hello, my dears. Good morning, and I am wishing you all a beautiful day. Welcome to English class. Hope that you all watched the video about a baker from Goa and enjoyed it. Today, we are moving to the next part of lesson number 7, that is Glimpses of India, part 2, Korg. Let's have a look on one of the beautiful places of India, Korg. Okay? Korg is written by Dr. Logesh Abrol, a doctor, traveler, and social entrepreneur who loves India and likes writing about different places he visited in India. And the place Korg is in Karnataka and is famous for coffee, rainforest, and spices, and it is also a tourist destination. Now we can start our lesson. Okay. Midway between Mysore and the coastal town of Mangalore sides a piece of heaven that must have drifted from the kingdom of God. This land of rolling hills is inhabited by a proud race of martial men, beautiful women, and wild creatures. So in the beginning of the lesson, the writer is telling you a beautiful description of the place Korg. The Korg is lying between the coastal town of Mangalore and Mysore. And it's a piece of heaven. It's a piece of heaven that must have drifted from the kingdom of God. And the writer is saying that Korg is a beautiful place and it is considering as a piece of heaven which had been drifted from the kingdom of God. And this land of rolling hills is inhabited by a proud race of martial men, beautiful women, and wild creatures. And this land of rolling hills means the land is surrounded with mountains, and there we can see the inhabitants, the people who are living, the beasts who are living there. That is the proud race of martial men, the men who know martial arts. Martial means having to do with war, and beautiful women and wild creatures. That means Korg is rich with beautiful women, wild creatures, and martial men. Korg or Kodagu, the smallest district of Karnataka, is home to evergreen rainforest, spices, and coffee plantations. As I given you an idea in the introduction itself, Korg, and it is also known as Kodagu, is the smallest district of Karnataka state, and it is a home to evergreen rainforest, spices, and coffee plantations. In Korg we can see the evergreen rainforest, and it is famous for spices and coffee plantations. Evergreen rainforests cover 30% of this district. During the monsoons, it pours enough to keep many visitors away. So, the 30% of the district, 30% of Korg is covered with evergreen rainforests. So, during the monsoon season, the rain pours means raining, and it is enough to keep many visitors away. That means in the monsoon season, visitors are not getting any chance to visit Korg. The season of joy commences from September and continues till March. So this is the time when the tourists or the visitors are visiting Korg for the most time, and it is the season of visiting Korg is September and continues till March. The weather is perfect with some showers thrown in for good measure. And the weather condition during these months is perfect, and we can have some showers of small drizzles of rains thrown good measure. The air breathes of invigorating coffee, and the air of Korg is completely giving energy. Invigorating means it is giving you an energy of coffee. So the air is completely filled with coffee smells. Coffee estates and colonial bungalows stand tucked under tree canopies in prime corners. In the prime corners, prime corners means important sites or important corners of Korg, we can see coffee estate and colonial bungalows. Colonial bungalows means the bungalow built by colonial people. Stand tucked under trees. Stand tucked means placed under tree canopies. What is canopies? Canopies means roof-like coverings that form shelters. So because of this evergreen forest, we can have that canopies, roof-like covering that is form a shelter in prime corner. So in prime corners of Korg district, we can see the coffee estate and colonial bungalows. The fiercely independent people of Korg are possibly of Greek or Arabic descent. So in the next paragraph, the writer is giving you an idea about the people, the origin of the people who are living in Korg. And writer is saying that the independent people, the fiercely means without having any fear, and they are a great independent people of Korg are possibly of Greek or Arabic descent. So their origin is, sometimes it is from Greek or Arabic. And the writer is giving you the clues or the hints for why it is considering as the independent people of Korg are possibly of Greek or Arabic descent. As one story goes, a part of Alexander's army moved south along the coast and settled here when return became impractical. So as you know, Alexander started invading India, and there is a story that Alexander's army moved south along the coast. The Alexander's army moved south along the coast of Korg and they settled here, and their return became impractical. So they did not get an opportunity to return. So that Alexander's army settled here in the south, along the south coast. These people married amongst the locals, and their culture is apparent in the martial traditions, marriage and religious rites, which are distinct from the Hindu mainstream. And these people means the Alexander's army married the people in the Korg, and they married the local people in the Korg, and their culture. The Alexander's culture is apparent. Apparent means clear in the martial tradition. So the culture of that Alexander's family is, that is Greek. The culture of the Greek is, we can see in the martial traditions, marriage and religious rites. Religious rites means holy ceremonies, religious ceremonies which are distinct from the Hindu mainstream. So we can see some Greek culture in the culture of Korg now itself, and that cultures are including in martial traditions, marriage and religious ceremonies which are distinct. Distinct means different from the Hindu mainstream. Mainstream means a tradition which most people follow. So the tradition or the culture they are following as Hindus, in that we can see some Greek culture also. So that is one of the story that proves that the Korg people are of Greek descent. The next one, the theory of Arabic. The theory of Arabic origin draws support from the long black coat with an embroidered waist belt worn by the Kodwas. So we can also have some points to say that they are of Arabic descent, that give you a support from when we can see that it is an Arabic origin, we can get an idea that a black coat, they are wearing a black coat with an embroidered waist belt worn by the Kodwas. The people of Kudak are known as Kodwas. These Kodwa people are using an embroidered waist belt, black coat with an embroidered waist belt by the Kodwas. Okay. The theory of Arabic origin draws support from the long black coat with an embroidered waist belt worn by the Kodwas, known as kufiya. It resembles the kufiya worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. So I already told you that there are two theories which the writer is saying that the Korg people are of Greek or Arabic origin, and Alexander's army came there in the south coast, and they settled there and they married the local people there, and their culture we can see in the martial traditions, marriage and religious rites, and that are different from the Hindu mainstream. And of the Arabic origin, we can have a look that the black coat with an embroidered waist belt worn by the Kodwas, known as kuppia. So that particular dress is known as kuppia in Korg, and it has a resemblance. It has a similarity with the kuffia, another type of a dress, that is kuffia worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. So in this way, the writer is saying that the people of Korg has two origins. Sometimes there are two stories, and one is Greek origin and the other is Arabic descent. Okay. Next paragraph. Korgi homes have a tradition of hospitality, and they are more than willing to recount numerous tales of valor related to their sons and fathers. Regarding the hospitality of the people of Korg, the writer is saying that the Korgi homes, that means the people in Korg, have a great tradition of hospitality, and they are more than willing to recount, and the people are there to tell numerous tales of valor. Tales of valor means stories of courage and bravery, usually in war. So the woman in the home and the people in the home are ready to invite you, and they are ready to tell you numerous stories of courage and bravery, usually in war, related to their sons and fathers. The Korg regiment is one of the most decorated in the Indian Army, and the first chief of the Indian Army, General Cariappa, was a Korgi. So that why the people or the Korgi homes are ready to tell you the different types of tales of valor? Because the Korg regiment is in the Indian Army, one of the army, and it is the most decorated. Most decorated means having received the maximum numbers of awards for bravery in war. So they are the most brave people in Indian Army, and their chief, the first chief of the Indian Army, General Cariappa, was also a Korgi. So that is why the people in Korg homes are ready to tell various tales of valor of their sons and fathers. And even now, Kodwas are the only people in India permitted to carry firearms without a license. So, for their bravery, India has given them a special consideration, that is special right, that only now the Kodwas, the people of Kodwas are the only people in India who is permitted to carry firearms. Firearms means weapons without license. Pistols without license. The only people in India are Kodwas. They have the license to carry the firearms without having any license. It is only for their bravery. That is why India giving them such a consideration. Okay. The river Kaveri obtains its water from the hills and forests of Korg. Mahasir, a large freshwater fish, abound in these waters. So now we are moving to the natural beauty of Korg, and there the most beautiful river Kaveri, and it gains water from the hills and forest of Korg, and we can see a large freshwater fish there, that is Mahasir, and it is abundant in these waters. We can see large numbers of these fish, Mahasir fish, in this water. Kingfishers dive for their catch, while squirrels and langurs drop partially eaten fruit for the mischief of enjoy the splash and the ripple effect in the clear water. The kingfishers dive for catching these Mahasir fish, and it is a beautiful scenery there, and also squirrels and langurs draw partially eaten fruits for showing some mischief and enjoying the splash that fruits is making the sound splash and ripple effect in the clear water. So that squirrels and langurs enjoying the splash and ripple effect in the clear water by throwing partially eaten fruits into this water. Elephants enjoy being bathed and scrubbed in the river by the mahouts. So we can also see elephants, they are enjoying bathing in this Kaveri river and they were scrubbed in the river by the mahouts. Mahouts means men who controls elephants. Okay, so these are the scenes that we can see in Korg and it's all a beautiful sight to see. The most laid-back individuals become converts to the life of highly energy adventure with river rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing and mountain biking. Numerous walking trails in this region are a favorite with trekkers. So another important activities that the tourist enjoyed is the most laid back. Laid back means at peace. Individuals become converts to the life of high energy adventure. So if you are an adventure people, you can enjoy loads of adventures there with river rafting. What are the adventures that you can enjoy in Korg? There are river rafting. Rafting means traveling in a river in a raft. And canoeing. Canoeing means traveling in a river in a canoe. Canoe means a large narrow boat. Rappelling. Rappelling means going down a cliff by sliding down a rope. And rock climbing and mountain biking. So, if you are an adventure people, you enjoy thoroughly in Korg because there are loads of adventure trips for you. And numerous walking trails in this region are a favorite with trekkers. And we can see numerous walking trails. Trails means path. Path created by walking in this region are a favorite with the trekkers. And if you are interested in trekking, there also you can see numerous walking places for trekking. So as an adventure, for an adventure trip, you will enjoy the most in Korg. So in the next paragraph, the writer is again give you the different creatures that we can see in Korg. Birds, bees and butterflies are there to give you company. So when you are walking through the path as a trekker, you can see birds, bees and butterflies, they are giving you a company. Muscus, Malabar squirrels, langurs and slender loris keep a watchful eye from the tree canopy. So you can also see that muscus means a type of monkeys. Malabar squirrels, langurs another monkey, and slender loris means thin type monkeys, and it will be a watchful eye from the tree canopy. Canopy means roof which is created by the tree. So you can see these creatures in the tree canopy. I do, however, prefer to step aside for wild elephants. So the writer is giving you a warning that there will be some wild elephants also. So I am giving you to prefer to step aside for wild elephants. You have to be very careful about wild elephants. So these are the creatures that enjoy your trips. While your trips, when you are trekking through the different parts of Korg, you can see this type of birds and animals, and you have to be step aside for wild elephants. Last paragraph. The climb to the Brahmagiri hills brings you into a panoramic view of the entire misty landscape of Korg. So another beautiful destination in Korg. Already we know that Korg is surrounded with different hills. That is why the writer told you in the first paragraph itself that the Korg is covered with different mountains, isn't it? This land of rolling hills. So the writer mentioned in the first paragraph itself that the land is rolling hills. The land is covered with lots of mountains, and Brahmagiri hills brings you into a panoramic view. Panoramic view means a view of a wide area of land. So when you climb in the Brahmagiri hills, you can see the wide area of land of Korg. The entire misty landscape of Korg. You can see the entire misty landscape of Korg. A walk across the rope bridge leads to the 64-acre island of Nisargadama. So there is a rope bridge that also you enjoyed. The walk across the rope bridge leads to the 64-acre island. So when you are crossing the rope bridge, you will enter 64-acre island of Nisargadama. Nisargadama is an island which is contains 64 acre. Running into Buddhist monks from India's largest Tibetan settlement at nearby Bailakupi is a bonus. So another destination, another important destination that a tourist is enjoying in Korg is the Buddhist monk from India's largest Tibetan settlement. You can see India's largest Tibetan settlement in Korg, and that is nearby Bailakupi, and it is a bonus for you. So we can see the largest Tibetan settlement in India in Bailakupi, Korg. The monks in red, ochre and yellow robes are amongst the many surprises that wait to be discovered by visitors searching for the heart and soul of India, right here in Korg. So there you can see the monks, the saints, the Tibetan saints, and they are wearing a particular color of robes in red, ochre and yellow robes. It's a color, ochre is a color, and yellow robes. Robes means dresses, and they are amongst the many surprises. So these monks are one of the many surprises that wait to be discovered by the visitors searching of heart of India, heart and soul of India. So you are a visitor who is searching the heart and soul of India. Korg is the correct place, and that is rich right here in Korg. If you want to get the heart and soul of India as a visitor, it is the right place is in Korg. You can see different natural beauties among the many cultures, and also you can see the Brahmagiri hill, the misty landscape of Korg, and also you can see the largest Tibetan settlement and the monks. Okay, my dear children, before winding up the class, let's have a look upon the main points of the lesson, Glimpses of India, Part 2, Korg. Korg or Kodagu, the smallest district of Karnataka, is home to evergreen rainforest. The season of joy commences from September and continues till March. The people of Korg are possibly of two origin, that is Greek or Arabic descent. And we can see this in their traditions, marriage, religious rites and dress called kufiya. It resembles the kufiya worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. The Korg regiment is one of the most decorated regiments in the Indian army. Kodwas are the only people in India who are permitted to carry firearms without a license. Now we can know the beautiful sceneries of Korg. The river Kaveri begins from the hills and forests of Korg. Korg has a rich flora and fauna that you know. There are beautiful creatures that you enjoy while you are traveling. A variety of plants, birds and animals can be seen there. Korg offers a number of adventure sports for the tourists. There are also lots of adventure sports for the tourists who enjoy the adventure trips. One can have a panoramic view of the entire misty landscape of Korg when you are climbing Brahmagiri hills. The Tibetan monks in red, ochre and yellow robes can be seen in Bailakupi, a Tibetan settlement. So there are many other surprises waiting for the tourists to discover at Korg. So the writer is telling you that if you want to see the heart and soul of India, you have to come right here in Korg. Okay. Okay, my dears, let's wind up for today. Read the lesson and enjoy the beautiful destination, Korg. We will meet in the next class. Take care. Thank you and have a safe day ahead. Bye.